Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for coming to this presentation. Let me introduce myself. My name is Bima Maulana, and the purpose of my presentation is fulfill the engineering and English segment. And first, I will explain to you about location and part of machine. Then I will explain my study about location and part of machine is so important for us. Finally, you will know how to about natural properties. The first engine part description, function, and construction. Number one, cylinder barrel. Cylinder barrel chrome molybdenum or nickel molybdenum steel used to guide and the seal piston and the two-mount cylinder assembly to heat. Barrel treat into heat to form cylinder assembly. This is cylinder walls. The walls, cylinder interior walls. The cylinder walls. Inside surface of cylinder barrel is honed to a controlled amount of roughness. Enough to hold oil film but smooth enough to minimize friction and wear. Plain steel cylinder walls are not treated to prevent wear or corrosion. Nitrate cylinder walls are hardened to reduce wear but still rust as easily as plain steel walls. Chrome cylinder walls use chrome plating to resist wear and provide a corrosion-resistant surface. Cylinder may be chrome back to standard inside dimension if the coke becomes wet. Cylinder walls choke. The cylinder walls is tempered in wear. The top to as the engine warm up. The hotter top of the wall expands more than the bottom, creating a round barrel at operation temperature. Next, cylinder head. Constructs of cast aluminum provide combustion chamber and mounting area of spark plug and valve part. The cylinder head is designed to transfer heat by conduction to the fins and then from the fins to the air by convection. The exhaust side of the heat has the most fin as it runs the hose. Valve wood made of bronze secured in the head by an interference. Valve sheet made of chrome steel, lead, or brass, secured by intervention feed. Next, crankcase. The crankcase holds all of the engine part in alignment and support the cylinder and crankshaft. And nose section, power section, full indication section, accessory section. Opposed crankcase section are not as distinct as is the radial and crankcase split from front to rear instead of in radial section. Piston. This is piston. Piston. Construction of aluminum alloy. Part include top, ring grooves, ringlet, skir, and piston pin boss. Cooling fins on the bottom help to oil carry head away from the piston top. Piston. Diameter of the piston is great perpendicular to the piston pin boss. Next, piston head design. This is flat the pressure cup dome. Piston rings provide seal between cylinder walls and piston rings right on the thin film of oil. Compression rings. Oil control ring. On the bottom of piston below compression rings. Regulator oil film thickness on cylinder wall. Holes in ring and piston allow excess oil to drain back to crankcase. Piston ring and gap. Piston ring, piston pin connect the piston to end of the connection rod. Construction of hardened steel. The pin is retained in the piston wheel clip or plugs that prevent cylinder wall scoring. Next, connection rod assembly. The link between the crankcase and the piston. Normally steel, but some low-power engines use aluminum to save weight. Plain type rods used on inline and opposite engines. Small bushing at the piston pin and is pressed in place and limit to the final dimension. Next, for and band connection. Next, master and articulation rod. Next, master is articulation rod in action. Crankshaft. Crankshaft is change reciprocating motion of piston into rotating motion to drive propeller. Construction of from nickel molybdenum steel may be one piece or as many as 3 separate pieces. Crankshaft main bearing journal, pin arm. This is crankshaft for mounting propeller. This is characteristic for mounting propeller. 2-piece crankshaft with counterweight, single throw, single cylinder. Valve and the valve system. Valve control the flow is gas inside the engine. This is valve system. Component valve system. Inner valve spring, outer valve spring, retainer, valve width, seat insert, dan end cylinder assembly. Valve spring. Inner and outer spring are used to prevent bounce. Valve lifter or tap may be solid, roller, or hydraulic. The lifter follow the cam lobes and push on the push rod. This is valve lifter. Rocker arm, valve spring, valve seat, valve crankshaft gear, and rocker arm bearing. Camshaft thread to the crankshaft for timing purpose, gear belt and chain. The camshaft consists of bearing journal and lobe spaced along shaft. Push rod, transmit push of lifter up to the rocker arm. Hollow to allow oil to flow to the top of the cylinder of valve part lubrication. This is valve clearance adjustment and valve clearance measurements. Rocker arm adjustable in solid lifter engine and fixed in engine with hydraulic lifter. One end rests on the valve stem and the other on the push rod. Bearing must be able to withstand force inside an engine with minimal friction and heel butt up. Most is radial and through slots. Plain bearing, a steel insert with bulb, flat allow, bonded to the bearing surface. Plain bearing are keyed to keep them in place. A lift or flanks allow the plain bearing to accept the slot. Roller bearing, anti-friction, hard steel roller captured between an inner and outer race and held in alignment by a check. May be tapered to absorb radial and thrust load or strike to absorb radial load only. This is roller bearing. Part of a ball bearing. This is ball, check, inner race, and outer race. Ball bearing antipressure used for both radial and third load. Deep grooves in race allow third load. Bearing cleaning and safety. Wash all grease and debris with solvents. Blow dry with soft air, but do not spin the bearing with the air blast. Reapply grease or oil immediately to prevent corrosion. Protect skin and eyes from solvent contact. And propeller reduction gearing purpose is to reduce propeller RPM to its optimal speed and increase engine RPM to its optimal speed. Propeller always turn slower than the engine. Gear ratio. This is gear ratio. At what speed will the propeller be turning if the engine RPM This is 4 gear, simple drive and driven gear system. Number of teeth on gear and gear diameter determine the reduction ratio. And finally, planetary gears, ring gears, planet gears, sun gears, compact and versatile, common and large radial and turbine engine. And then finally, this is my presentation. Thank you for your attention, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.